Hi and welcome to the table. My name's Steve Rain.
I'm Jonathan Hicks.
And I'm Owen.
And in this episode of House Rules, Jonathan and Mark are going to look at how to play Gingerbread House. Now, Gingerbread House is a game I've learnt the rules for. Jonathan brought back from Essen. I've learnt the rules for, and it's their turn to try and work out the rules just from the game set up at the start. It is a competitive game. Now, there isn't much text on the cards, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to read the back of the box. I'm going to leave the box out. I'm going to ask you not to look at the box after this, okay? So it gives you an idea of what you're trying to do in the game. Basically, once upon a time, a witch lived alone in her house in the depths of the forest. Her favourite hobby was baking yummy gingerbread. In fact, she loved gingerbread so much that she built her entire house out of it. Sound familiar? Unfortunately, she wasn't the only one who loved it. Rude fairy tale characters passing by were eating away her walls, windows and doors. One day, the witch decided that she'd had enough of them, all helping themselves and paying attention to which types of gingerbread these greedy intruders liked the most. She came up with an idea of how to get rid of them once and for all. I'm going to leave the box there, and I'm going to give you a certain amount of time to familiarise yourself with what's going on here, and you're trying to work out how to play this game from just the game set up here. How confident are you feeling, guys?
Well, there's some text, which usually helps.
I say not much text. But I should say that I didn't even really see this being played at Essen. I bought this because it's designed by Phil Walker Harding, who I really like. So I don't really know anything other than it's about a gingerbread house. So yes, right now I don't feel confident at all.
Yep.
Okay. So it plays up to 4 players. This is set up for a 2-player game.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it over. I'm going to watch from over there, and I'm going to come back at the end and let you know how you've done.
Alright, so we've had a few minutes to look over the components. We haven't talked to each other about them yet. What do you think?
It's not a review. Well, these are obviously what you're trying to capture, and in some shape or form you must be trying to complete that. Some sort of symbols like that.
So they've got the different... So the symbols that appear on the board here
Yeah.
match the symbols on these tiles. There's a whole pile of tiles which all look... I'm guessing you're putting them on the board matching.
Do we have
things,
3 to
maybe?
pick from? Because that's why we have 3 out.
Yeah, okay. But they also match the symbols on the cards. And they also match the symbols here.
But can they maybe replace other things so I can go like that? Possibly.
Oh, if you don't like the one you need it to match.
Obviously, you can build a chimney.
Yes, yes. I'm
And you
looking
can
at this
build levels.
Now, we know it's a chimney, I should say, because the very few little bits of text we've got here, you have some, I'm guessing these are endgame scoring cards.
So I can get
it says chimney on it.
I get scoring in this. You get, because look in this, you get the points for ones you've captured.
Right, hang on. We've got a score sheet. So at the top there's a bit of a picture of a witch.
So that's who we are.
So
That's
you
the
write your
player.
name across the top, yeah, okay.
So those.
And then there's a little icon that indicates the bottom left of the card, and they've got different...
Yeah.
These must be victory points.
Yes.
The number next to the witch's hat.
And then there with those.
Those are the endgame scoring cards.
But
It looks like a card with a picture of a witch's hat in
But
the
you can only
middle.
score 3. Because there's only 3 spots.
Yeah.
And then something multiplied by...
So witch's hat with a half times... I'm guessing this is like leftover resources. They look like those things.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's the different things of those that you can have left over.
I feel like, obviously, these tiles feel like they're going onto the board.
Yes. And these look like... what do you call them? Like orders. Like you've got to complete these to get the points.
So I don't think you have to match the shape, because I'm assuming that you stay within the confines of the 9x9 thing. So obviously that'd be 4 wide or 5 wide in that case. So unless you can either expand your building, which I suspect not, it's more likely you need 3 green and 3 of these blue, whatever pot thing.
Ah, so he doesn't care where they are, you think?
Well, maybe, because how would you do a length of 5? I mean, it's possible you're allowed to expand beyond the board, but I don't feel that would be the case. Because you'd need board expansion piece.
So some of these say, for example, chimney, for at least 6 levels you're getting 4 points.
So that's 6 of those on top of each other, surely going...
No, I think...
You think it is that?
Well, I think you're going to arrange these somehow and build up your levels, and then plonk one of these on the top to make a chimney. I think that's like the chimney piece.
Oh, so you've got chimney on at least, and when there's at least 6 levels, because that's having at least 8 levels, and that's completing 3. So that must be that you've got obviously that, but 3 high all the way up. So 9 blocks of 3.
Yes.
So these are special tiles, because obviously if these are double tiles, you're always going to
fill
have
it, are you?
no.
You're going to have a gap. So you need these to fill the gap.
Yes.
Yes, that makes sense. So we've got 2 different chimney tiles, which are effectively exactly the same, these cards, except one is for 6 levels and one's for 8, but this one's giving you quite a few more points. You get 9 points for that instead of 4. But yes, I think effectively it's just for piling them up and sticking one of these on top.
So we assume we either draft these,
We've each got our own,
or we have our own set,
haven't we?
and we just get access to our own set.
Steve said this was for a 2-player game. I'm assuming in a 4-player game they'd
You'd
have their
have
own
fewer.
set of tiles.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I don't know how you gain
hang on.
these.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
So when it's your turn... It might be simultaneous actually, that'd be interesting, but... yes, I think you're drafting. So you pick... See, this is the best one for me right now, let's say.
So
And I put it on my board somehow, and then a new one comes out, and we then get to pick from those 3 again. So eventually you can think, well, I need to build up to be able to use this one,
that.
but I can't use it straight away.
Yeah. That seems...
Although what I can't figure out is the fact that, like right now, I don't think I can match both of these at all. I could match one of them, but then the other one doesn't match.
Yes.
Maybe matching something gets you something. So you don't have to match, you can put it wherever you like, but if I match the little custard tart, whatever that is...
There's obviously also the symbology of the double arrows. I mean, that seems to be a lot which relates to those. Maybe if you cover that up, you grab one.
The symbol, it's like a locked gate or something.
Could it be
Matches
if you cover up that symbol, then you get to take that action? So much
if you
more
hang on another some in here, and you've got to have the matching thing. I think you'd have to put that on that
to be able to
get another one of these. Now we start with one of these.
Yes. So that must be the way you gain another one of these cards. Possibly, because stairs give
I think
you...
covering that will get you a card.
Yeah, stairs... I don't know what stairs are.
They let you go up a level.
Down, yeah. Maybe it is right to... Yeah, and then we've got double arrows.
I've had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right, when you cover... You know I was saying, if you cover a matching thing, you get a thing.
Yeah.
How about when you cover that, you get this?
Yeah.
And you allocate it to a card. So I need 4 custard tarts here.
Okay.
So I can put that there, and I've got 1 out of my 4.
That's
and I keep
more
piling them up.
believable, yeah.
And once I've got my 4, I kind of return them. I complete the card, and at the end of the game, I'll get the points.
And that's the points you gain.
What I can't figure out, like at this point, I can't use that one. But let's say I use this one. I'm assuming you can't do that and have it kind of lying.
No, I'm assuming it's got to be flat levels. Well.
So you just have to put one like here before you can put another one on top, you think?
Yes.
Okay. So what the stairs for?
I don't know. I certainly don't know what the double arrows relate to, unless they are...
Presumably you have to be able to get a chimney, don't you?
Yes.
There must be a way of getting a chimney. I can't see anything on here that looks like a chimney. This is a gingerbread piece, presumably.
Are they the bits that you get half point for at the end of the game as well?
It's hard to see, but looking at the picture here, I think it's leftover ones of those. So presumably, if I had a big order card like this with some of these things on, I think I wouldn't get all the points for those. I wouldn't get the card points, but you kind of get points for leftover ones of those, maybe.
So you must be collecting those and then allocating them to. So maybe you can take them earlier and then allocate. So you don't have. If I don't want to need this heart, but I can later allocate it if I grab that card. I can then go, oh, I've got some of these, and go on there.
Yeah.
And that's why you might have some remaining.
Okay. I still can't work out
what stairs do.
Presumably there must be a way of getting a chimney. Like there must be some kind of thing you cover up and you get a chimney.
Or you just get the option to take a chimney
on your turn.
If you do something specific.
Instead of taking one of these, you take a chimney.
Possibly.
And put it on.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I imagine the downside of putting a chimney on is you can't
put anything on top.
That's right. It caps it off.
Yeah.
But at some point, you're going to want to do that to meet scoring goals. That's a strange thing. What's that on that card? A magic wand. You get 2 points per character with at least 6 gingerbreads. I'm guessing these are the gingerbreads. Per character. Oh no, hang on. These are the characters.
Yes.
So let's say I have this character with at least 6 gingerbreads. You think these are the gingerbread pieces?
I'm not sure, but...
What are these then?
With just bits to cover... Oh, maybe when you place one of these you get...
This... Oh, hang on. Look at the top left.
Okay.
This has got a happy face.
Yeah.
And this has got an angry face.
And that's got a dragon, because it is a type of dragon that's an elf.
So presumably, yeah, we've got 2 different types it looks like. Have we got any more? No, there's 2 different types of card. There's happy ones and angry ones. I'm not quite sure why that matters, although what's the 6? Oh right, sorry, I just figured out what this thing is. This is like the end of the house. That's the roof of the house. So this is like the walls of the house, the things you're trying to match.
Yeah.
I think this just means that it's got 6 things on
there.
it, whatever they are.
Per character showing a blue, so for each character that has that symbol on it, you get 2 points per. So that would give me 2 points.
Oh, the gingerbread piece, that one, yeah. Okay. Are there any?
The other one is the purchase. So per human character must be any with that because they're monster characters.
Ah, the humans are the happy faces. You think?
Well, they've got a human on the right hand side, and the other one's got monsters.
Let me just look through. Are all the happy faces? Ah, yes.
Humans also happy.
The symbol. Oh,
that's got 2 humans.
2 humans.
You get
Hansel and Gretel. Ah, so what would it say per human character?
Yes.
So presumably you're going to get
worth 2.
2 for that one. Yeah, they're all like dragons or people. Yeah, I think you're right. Those have got to be the human characters. 7 little goats.
But it only gives you 1.
But 1 monster, I take it. Okay. I feel like we're nearly there. The only thing I'm still not clear about is what those 2 things do. The arrow and the stairs. We've got matching things. You cover it up. The arrow, oh, it goes 2 different ways. I wonder if the which direction it goes matters. Like it matches that way, but it doesn't match if I put it that way.
Maybe.
But let's say I cover it up. What do I get for an arrow? It indicates. Maybe you can.
What's the bits around the outside? We've got locks, and we've got 10 and 4.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And we've got another ball and chain in there. 3.
10 and 4. There's pictures that these things seem to be on the right hand side. The gates which match.
I wonder if you can only have
cards are at the top.
I suspect you can only have 2 cards in front of you.
One card.
Yeah.
2 cards. Yeah. Because you're starting.
And then the ones you've got go at the bottom because they've got the ball and chain on them.
Ah, so you complete it and put it down here.
Well, it's got a yeah.
Because you've captured the monster.
Yes. Or whatever.
So the monsters are enticed by the gingerbread, and then you capture them. Ah. There's like 3 cave kind of things on the left.
There might be something. There might be art. I mean, there are 3 of these. I wonder if they're really meant to go like that. I don't know.
I imagine Steve set it up correctly.
Yeah.
I can't see what the 10 and the 4 are for though. 4 is next to wood. Oh no, I bet that's gingerbread. It's cutting up the gingerbread.
Yeah.
And the 10 is like for the decoration pieces. So, oh, hang on. How about?
Did this start?
Can you put these on?
When he put it out, was that there?
No.
Is that okay?
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, we did. We had 1.
Yeah.
Oh, so they go there.
So do you have to trade in 4 of those to buy a?
And every time you cover one up, you get the thing and you put it here.
Yeah. And then you can trade in 4 to buy a chimney.
Oh, it's.
No, I'm just. It's a
10. 10's a lot, isn't it? Oh, maybe that's the limit. I reckon that you can't have more than 4 chimney pieces here, or 10 any kind of pieces here.
Okay.
But I think you need to see. I'm wondering. We've got a big pile of these. If you put it on a space, let's say, can you then stick these on here?
But if you do that, that seems like it would hurt the game because you suddenly can't balance anything on top of it.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Forget that. But maybe if you had a chimney around it. Oh, it doesn't fit. I thought the chimney might just fit around it. So no, I think these are just going to go on the card.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you get these?
How do you get them? I think I feel like we're hitting the levels of where we can push this without.
All right. Shall we call Steve back and see how well we did?
Yes.
Because I think we're stuck there. Steve.
Alright guys, I was watching you from over there. I think you've done incredibly well. I don't think there's anything that you've missed, although there's a couple of things about how you would go about doing stuff. So you worked out very quickly what you score points for. So you score points for the characters you captured.
Yeah.
You score points for the bonus tiles that you've managed to acquire.
Oh, you actually get the cards.
Yeah, and you well done, you spotted you can only have 3. Where would they go? Looking at that, where would they go?
Here.
Correct. So you've got 3 little huts.
The caves on the left are for the cards.
We'll go through about how you get those in a sec, but basically, you if you're the first to do a particular thing, you would acquire a card, and you might be able to score at the end of the game. There's 3 each potentially to do that.
Oh, there's 6 cards and 2 people.
Yeah. So if you had more players, you'd have more cards out there.
Yeah.
And then you get half a point for the leftover resources, and these are the gingerbread pieces there. So
And they go over here, do they?
they go there. Your limit is 10. So I think you spotted it quite late, but you did spot it that around the edge of the board there's some iconography. So the gates are where you've attracted characters, and the characters you attract, you're the only one who can capture them.
Yes, because they're eating your house.
These can be captured whilst they're there, which I don't think is obvious.
Oh, even though they're not eating
Correct,
house?
yeah. But someone else might beat you to those. So bringing them to your gate would allow you to get it alone. So how do you think you bring them to your gate?
Is that what that does? Or that one, sorry.
Correct,
rather.
yeah. So you've got on your board, you've got pieces that match your gingerbread, and you've got 3 special pieces.
Yes, okay, so I think we said that, didn't we? We said if you match the gate because of the symbol on the back of the card, you get to take the card.
So that's actually incorrect. It's not matching. It's easier than that, it's covering up.
So I was correct.
Oh.
If you cover things up, you get that stuff.
Oh, I guess because even if you've got another one, it just means you can cover it in the future. If you put that there,
Yeah.
when you cover that later, you get the thing.
Yeah, so if you were to place that over the gate and the yellow candy or yellow gingerbread, you would get to attract one of these to your gate, and then you would get some yellow gingerbread and you'd hold it up. It gets you more resources.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, there is a thing, it's not obvious at all, but if you ever cover up 2 symbols the same, you get 3 of them. So that's where you can think about building. Otherwise, you can just put anything on anything and get stuff. But if you can think about building, if you manage to kind of put these 2 there, so 2 green pieces are touching, if you cover up that candy there, then when you cover up the double green, you would get 3 greens instead.
Oh, okay. So if you had the right tile to do the heart and the custard tart,
you just get 1 of each.
Oh, but if
You have to be
cover up
covering 2 at the same time.
Are the tiles which have 2?
Yeah,
No.
they have to be the same. We've already, it
Oh, that's
doesn't
right.
have
I'm
to
still
match.
thinking you
Yeah.
could have matched them. But you
Yeah.
don't have to match them.
And
Okay.
in terms of where you place the tiles, you can't place a tile directly on top of another tile. So what you couldn't do, your tiles always have to kind of crisscross.
Okay.
Okay.
You kind of stack them up.
The thing you got wrong the most is the chimney.
Oh.
These are not chimney tiles.
Oh.
Stairs?
They look like stairs, don't they? They're like staircases.
But they look
So,
like chimneys
how
as
They
well.
do also look like
Potentially, yeah. The chimneys, it's a bit deceptive, I guess, because the bonus tiles are chimney. If they weren't there...
So do you need a chair, stairs enough to go up?
So if you cover up the stair tile, you get more stairs, and your limit is 4, like you said.
Yes.
But at any point, you could just put a stair on there. So if you're
Just to fill
struggling,
the gaps.
if you're struggling to place a tile now, I can put a stair on there and plonk something on top of it just to fill the gaps. And the reason the stair's got a gap in it is that you still get what you cover up.
Oh, when you put another tile
So
on
if you
there
put
later.
so if you put another tile there, you get the heart that's underneath the staircase,
okay.
and there, and it just helps you level the house because obviously there's 9 and there's an odd number, and it's hard to do that.
Yeah. What I can't figure out is what those are.
So the first time I played it, I read the rules out and then we forgot to do them. Every time you, so on your turn, you do one of 2 things. Generally, you're putting a tile down and then you're capturing as many characters as you can afford to capture.
And we were drafting from here, were you? And you
So
put
you've
them
got 3. You've got a choice of 3. So on your turn, you generally are putting one of these down, getting the stuff you've covered up. And then you may capture as many ones as you can.
Just by spending resources from here?
Correct. So you could capture this one and this one if you had enough stuff. And whenever you capture, they will go down here, like Mark said, and you gain a wild piece of gingerbread that add it to your house straight away.
Okay.
So this is wild. This is kind of like a wild symbol. When you put that there and you cover it later, you get anything you want.
Oh, from the supply of resources.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a wild piece of gingerbread. Also, it helps fill gaps, so you don't have to kind of rely on staircases.
Yeah.
If you cover up a double wild, you get 3 things. But if you cover up a heart and a wild, you'd only get 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what that's there for. It just kind of helps you kind of balance out the roles as well. I think there was one other thing you missed, and it was the arrow. The arrows just exchange 1 piece of gingerbread for another.
Oh, okay. So that you can fulfill the requirements of the cards.
So
Yes.
the cards come out here, and if you feed these 2 in your turn, you capture them both, and it wouldn't replenish them next turn. And then the points that you get at the end of the game are the points for what you've captured through the game, and game scoring tiles. And you did notice there's happy and sad, or I think it's angry and friendly, I think. And then you've got humanoid and monster, or I can't remember the names of the words, but they relate to potential scoring tiles.
Yes, I think we'd work that out.
you
because
did.
it's per human
Correct.
character.
And there wasn't any for happy and sad, but in the box there'll be some like it's
okay.
1 point for every friendly
Angry.
character.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
it's friendly and angry. I think it is. But yeah, I think you've pretty much done everything there. The chimney threw you off a bit because you didn't know what these were. The other thing you can do in your turn is you can throw away one of these to pick up 2 staircases.
Okay.
So if you find the point where you can't actually build anything and you've not got any staircases to fill the gaps, you can do that.
All right.
Which allows you to, and that they can go in whenever you want.
Okay. Can you give us a rating then? How did we do?
I think you did incredibly well, given there's not much text. You understood eventually that when covering up you get stuff.
Yeah.
Mark said you can't go off the board. You worked out what the symbols were. You worked out the bonus cards. You missed a bit. I'm probably going to give you the same rating you gave me. I'm going to get 8 out of 10. I think because I think you did. I think you mentioned everything, although you didn't get everything right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, well, that's it.
So that is House Rules. Gingerbread House, if you played it, comment below, say what you think of the game. We haven't reviewed it yet because they've literally only just worked out how to play. But I believe I'm living in fear now because I think it's Mark's turn now to get us a game that we haven't played, and obviously we're going to try and infer the rules from a game Mark has yet to pick, I think.
Okay.
Got any ideas?
Maybe.
Anyway, that's Gingerbread House. If you like this particular segment we're doing, please let us know below. Obviously, we want to get content out that's new and different and varied. And if you tell us you love it, then we'll be more than happy to do way more of this stuff. Like, share and subscribe if that would help us out, and it's free for you to do, so please do that as well. We've been The Table. I've been Steve.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Mark.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.